Alright guys, my name is Korpen Flyger and today I have some news for you from the War Thunder devlog page. We're getting new vehicles in the 1.49 update. It's called Weapons of Victory. And basically what it is a new navy line for the British. We're getting the Sky Raider AD2. I'm really looking forward to that. We're getting a new IL-2 model 1943 and then a new jet bomber and the cockpit for the flying duck, as well as some new planes for the Japanese. But what this video is about, because my main focus is tanks, I'm going to be talking about the ground vehicles, and I'm going to show you some pictures. So if you're interested in finding out what these guys looks like, just stay tuned. Here's the new ground vehicles, and we're going to start off with the USA, and just go from left to right, and I'll talk a little bit about them. So the M2A2 tank was actually a twin-turreted light tank made for infantry support. So what the armament on the tank will be one 50 cal machine gun and then one 30 cal light machine gun to battle infantry with. And you'll probably be using the .50 machine gun for anti-tank purposes. So that's what you're gonna have to fight tanks with. And this is how the tank looks like. It's quite crazy. It looks like a Siamese twin. It's just really ridiculous, and I've been playing this tank before in the browser game Heroes and Generals, and it's quite nice. And if you're curious to find out how it plays out, please watch my Heroes and Generals video. It's somewhere around on the site. And the next tank will be, this tank will probably be, or it must be, rank 1, that's for sure. This tank, however, is not really a tank, it's a M3 half-track. The kind of half-track that you're currently using as a AAA vehicle. And what they've done, the difference to this tank, is that they've slapped on the M3 howitzer. And this was actually meant as a tank destroyer, but it would also be able to fire infantry support rounds, HE rounds, for the infantry. And these things saw service in the Pacific as well as in Northern Africa, where they got their asses handed to them when they encountered German panzers. You can't really fight off tanks in half-track. And yeah, the next tank we're going to talk about is the M18 Hellcat, and there's going to be two variants of it. The M18 GMC, just going to pop up the window here so we can see it. This is the Black Cat, and that's probably going to be a premium tank. I have no intel on what it will cost, but it's probably going to be expensive because the Hellcat is a popular tank all around. And there's going to be two variants of it, one with a muzzle brake and one without a muzzle brake. And the tank in the game that you will be able to purchase for Lions will be this one, and you will be able to unlock it at rank 3 in the game. And the premium tank will be the one without the muzzle brake. I'm quite curious to see whether no muzzle brake or muzzle brake will have an impact on the game, because it should be having an impact, because basically what the muzzle brake would do to a tank is that it would break up the muzzle blast, and if you did have a muzzle brake, it would be easier to see where you hit, and there wouldn't be smoke from the blast. Whereas with this gun, you would have a larger muzzle blast that would probably blind the gunner, and then after that there would be a lot of smoke obscuring the vision and making it very hard to see whether you hit your target or not. But it's kind of cool. It seems like it's going to be using an anti-aircraft machine gun. It looks like a .50 cal machine gun. So that's kind of cool. Let's see if there's a difference. No, both tanks has the same kind of turret and the same kind of machine gun. So that's cool. So, moving onwards on the list. And there's an M10 GMC, also known as the Wolverine. It will use M7 76mm cannon, and that's basically the same gun that's on the M6 heavy tank in the game at the moment. And if this thing will be sitting at rank 2 in the game, this will be a troll. I'm telling you this right now. At rank 2, with that kind of gun, it will decimate any enemy tank that it will face. Only problem with the tank though is that it only has, at thickest, 37mm of armor, so it's going to be a glass tiger to say the least. It will be able to deal a lot of damage, but it will be knocked out very easily, so yeah. And there's also this M5A1 Stuart tank. I'm guessing this is a premium. We do already have this kind of tank in the game, so if you're curious to see how it looks like, check it out in your garage. And last but not least, on the American tree, we have the T95 and the T28. Those tanks were basically the same tank. The T95 was a big old tank destroyer with 4 tracks, 2 tracks on each side, and a huge 105mm gun. It was very heavy, and it was very heavily armored as well. And that also goes for the T28. But the T28 came after the T95. So the T95 was designed during 1945. The T28 was designed the year after, and it was basically a modification of the T95. So it was made a little bit lighter, but it's still a super heavy tank destroyer. And that's what these tanks are going to be in the game. So we have to find out whether the T95 will be the top dog on the US tank destroyer tree, or whether the T28 will be the one at the top. Seeing to which year they were produced, I would say the T28 should be at the top, but the T28 has, or should have, lesser armor than the T95, so I'm guessing the T95 will be the top dog, but we'll have to see. And Germany is also getting a new tank, the Sturmhaubitze 42G, and that's actually the late variant of basically the Stug, but with a 105mm howitzer for infantry support. So I'm guessing it's like a Sturmgeschütz 3G, but with a 105 howitzer instead. So that's going to be a cool tank to use. Whether it will be effective in the game or not, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So over to the Russian tanks. There's going to be a new AAA truck, the 4M Gas AAA, and this is how it looks like. Quite trollish, and that thing does have 4 Maxim machine guns mounted to it. So I'm guessing it's going to be around rank 1 as a AAA truck. We'll see. Next one will be the Su-57. That's basically the M3 GMC that the Americans get, but the Lend-Lease variant that they put an 57mm anti-tank gun in. So I'm guessing the 57mm gun was a bit more effective against tanks, so they used that instead and they mounted it, since they had a stockpile of those kinds of guns. And I'm guessing this will be a tank destroyer, and it'll probably be around rank 1, rank 2. Lower rank 2 would be a good place for that thing, perhaps, yeah, or higher rank 1, we'll see. And I'm gonna cover these tanks first, the T-3485E and the T-34E STSS, and the IS-2 Revenge and the Su-76M 5th Guard Cossacks Cavalry Corps first, because these tanks, I believe these tanks will be premium tanks on the Russian tree. T-3485E will be more heavily armored T-3485, and the T-34E STSS will be, the T-34E that we have in the game now, but probably a variant of it. The IS-2 Revenge will probably be a reskinned IS-2, looking something like this. I'm not sure if this will be the real variant of the tank in the game. I don't know Russian, but there will be some kind of custom skin to it, and that also goes for the Su-76M. What's really interesting though is this tank, the SU-122-54. And that tank will be a reworked T-54 model into a tank destroyer, case-made tank destroyer with a 122mm anti-tank gun on it, a modernized 122mm gun. So that gun is going to be great in the game, and I'm guessing this tank will be pretty trollish when it shows up. Suspecting that there will be issues with the damage model to it and so on, because that's been the case with most case-made tank destroyers when they've been released. That was the issue with the Jagdpanther when it came out, and the SU-85, the SU-122s. So we'll have to wait and see. I think this tank will be a funny tank to use, and yeah, we just have to wait to see how the new tanks play out. When we'll be getting the update 1.49, I don't know, but it will show up, I'm guessing, in about a month, perhaps. So yeah, those were the new vehicles that will be released in the game. What do you think about them? Do you think they'll be a good addition to the game? I think the T95 will be a little bit malplaced in this game, because most of the maps are quite they have a lot of elevation changes and stuff, and the T95 really doesn't do well on those kinds of terrains. So whether it will be fun to use in the game or not, I don't know. We'll have to test them out and see once they show up in the game. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys around.